Guys, today we've got Jordan Brand potentially cancelling the Union drop. Sneaker releases are getting so crazy this year, people are getting robbed for them. CPFM and Nike are dropping their collection very soon. Welcome to Sneaky Sunday. Guys, it is 2 months into 2025 and I feel like I've taken more L's this year than the entirety of 2024. It almost seems like every drop is just getting more and more limited. With that, let's get into a quick release recap before we get into the upcoming stuff, and let's kick it off with the Pharrell Adidas Superstar 92. I thought these things were going to be a walk in the park to pick up. I was like, you know what, why not just try and grab them? They look somewhat interesting. I took an L. By the way, this is like the super puffy version of the Superstar. Let me know if you managed to pick them up. The Jordan 12 Flu Games also dropped on the Nike Sneakers app. It seemed like that was the only place that they dropped, at least here in the EU, UK. Obviously, I took an L. This person also took an L because they were literally robbed at gunpoint for their Flu Game 12s. How insane. Like every single release, every single big release that we've seen, the black metallic 5s, the bread ones, we've seen videos of like fights breaking out and all kinds of crazy stuff. Nike's plan to make all of these bigger sneaker releases more limited. It's definitely working in the hype category, like reselling is back. Everybody's reselling these shoes. Like a lot of these big releases have a price premium on them, but it's also leading to crazy stuff like this, where I feel like they just really need to kind of rethink the whole first come first serve thing, because this is crazy. This took place in Washington, DC. A lot of people are saying that that doesn't surprise them. Throughout the year of 2025, if you're going to any of these first come first serve things or any kind of in-store release, just be very careful. But of course, the biggest release for this entire weekend was the Union Jordan 1s. They released through Union's website and they actually did it through a raffle, which I thought was pretty interesting. I thought it was going to be first come first serve, the website was going to crash and all of that, but no, as soon as the time hit, I think it was 8 a.m. PST or something like that, it was a global entry thing, so you could just sign up and then cross your fingers. They would email you if you actually won. Now, I and plenty of others did not receive an email. Apparently, this method of doing it, the raffle way, also allowed more bots to enter. I don't know how true that is, but a lot of people were talking about how they were managing to check out hundreds of pairs with bots. I'm also not entirely sure how many pairs they actually released, because the resale prices are still insanely high, about $1,000 for these things. So we'll have to see over the next coming weeks what actually happens with that resale price and see how limited these things were actually when, you know, pairs start coming in and stuff like that. But the biggest talk now is, are they going to be releasing again through the Nike Sneakers app and potentially some other retailers? And this is where things get a little bit confusing. So somebody actually asked Nike whether they were going to release through the Nike Sneakers app, and they said yes, it's expected to release via sneakers mid-March. Great news. We get a second chance. However, they changed their answer. So they actually edited this and they basically said, got ahead of ourselves on this, no details to share on the Union HA1 at this time. Now that's not a direct no, so they could still release, but it is a little bit weird. Either way, the current speculated release date for a Nike Sneakers app release is March the 18th. I don't, again, think this has been exactly confirmed. As of right now, the only things that have been confirmed for that release date is the clothing collection. So that's all of this stuff over here. Hoodies, t-shirts, I'm sure some jackets and pants and stuff like that. These are the only shots that we have. It would be a little bit weird if they just dropped the clothing on the Nike Sneakers app, but we have kind of seen that before. So again, we're not entirely sure, but I'm crossing my fingers. I hope they do drop, and if we get any more updates, I will let you guys know. Just keep in mind, March the 18th would be the time that they release if they do. Guys, Represent just dropped their brand new collection, so get ready to see some bangers. Starting off with this t-shirt right here. Look how clean that is. So the new collection is for Spring Summer 25, and they've called it Overdrive because it's inspired by vintage British racing. Now, it's got a ton of really clean pieces, from jackets, hoodies, t-shirts to denim accessories, footwear, and a ton more. So I picked up a couple different pieces, starting with the Applique hoodie. I chose the forest green color, which I just think looks super sick because it's not like your typical green. It's kind of like a tealish type color. It's got a boxy, oversized fit made from 100% loop-back cotton. And of course, it's got all of the signature Represent details, like the incredible quality and all of the metal hardware that you find on the poppers around the neck and the Represent bar in the pocket. And what you're looking at here is the World Championship t-shirt in the stained black color. So what they've done is added this fade-out spray, which kind of gives it a vintage style look. This is also 100% cotton, feels really nice and soft and cozy. And it also has a slightly oversized fit. Same exact thing for the long sleeve Raceway t-shirt, except this one has this really cool puff print for all of the graphics. This entire collection is available now using the links in my description. Go check it out. There's some absolute gems in this collection. And a huge thanks to Represent for always supporting the channel. Huge thanks to you guys for always using my links when I have them. It helps me out massively. But of course, let's get back to the video. Either way, let's get into this upcoming news, and let's start it off with some of these March releases that we have. First one is the Salehe Bembury New Balance 991 V2. Now, we have spoke about these plenty of times in the past. This is the Colors Be the Palette colorway. The all-over purple pair with a bunch of other colors on it. These are the official images. Now, there is no specific release date, but a lot of places are kind of hinting that this should be dropping in March, so the next couple weeks. CPFM and Nike have fully teased their apparel collection, which is also going to be dropping in March. Now, I think we spoke about this on Wednesday where we had Lil Yachty taking some pictures in them. He seems to be kind of like the poster boy for all of this kind of stuff. And there potentially could be some sneakers involved as well. So here's some shots of the clothing. So we've got like this knitted sweatshirt or jersey thing, which I think a lot of people liked. I mean, it does look pretty crazy with that embroidery. You got these pants, which is something that I really like. I'd love to grab these things. You got this crew neck sweater, or could also be a jersey. Nah, I believe that is a crew neck. This insane looking hat with like plushy stitch to the top. Here's all of the retail prices, so still very expensive stuff. But of course, they might drop these sneakers, the CPFM Air Forces, which we have been talking about for a while. This is essentially just an all-white pair of Air Forces with a gray Nike swoosh that has a bunch of CPFM logos inside of it. Not a bad collection. It would be interesting to see if they do actually drop those sneakers. All of this is going to be releasing on March the 21st. That should be through the Nike Sneakers app. And if it's the same as last time, it'll be US only. Also dropping on March the 21st is the Air Max 1 Low Poly. This is the Donkey Kong inspired one. They're calling this Big Head Origins. You know what, this actually just reminds me of the adventure pair that they dropped, you know, the one that was inspired by Lara Croft. Those actually had a release, and it was probably one of the coolest sneaker releases I have ever seen digitally. Like, you had to have this video game style thing where you had to solve all of these different puzzles. I'll put some like videos on the screen of like when I was trying to check out on them. It was so cool, and I love this idea for the I guess the whole Nike dot swoosh thing. Either way, I assume this Donkey Kong version gets a similar release, and if it does, I think that could be insane. These are the official images. They're dropping March the 21st. Let me know if you're out to grab these. I know that these are actually going to be pretty popular. If the adventure one's completely sold out, a lot of people loved that one. They're gonna love these. And then taking a quick peek at the Nike Sneakers app for the upcoming calendar. A couple other ones. We've got the Drake Forces. This is the pink foam colorway dropping March the 7th. We've got the Sea Foam, or now they're calling this the Abundant Jordan 4, dropping on March the 8th. A black and signal blue Air Zoom Spiridon on March the 13th. The dope colorway of the Foam Posits. It's the black and Volt colorway dropping on March the 14th. And then we got the Cool Grey 9s dropping on March the 15th. These are just the ones that are loaded up. There's still going to be plenty of other drops. March is really, really stacked. And if you want to know the entire calendar, just click over on my last video on Wednesday. That one has the full drop list. Final one for March. This one's a little bit confusing because I feel like they were supposed to drop last month, but this is the 2025 Nike SB Dunk Low BHM, or Black History Month. That's why I thought they were going to drop in February, but they're now releasing March the 28th. We have seen these, we have spoke about them, so there's not too much to go over. These are the on-foot shots. Again, I've said in the past, these are very, very nice dunks. They've got a lot of details. It's a pretty interesting, cool looking colorway. It's inspired by Black Cowboy, so there's a ton of details, both with like the packaging and on the insoles. No idea why they didn't drop in February. Maybe they got pushed or delayed or something like that, but either way, March the 28th for these. We just got a release date for the upcoming Air Jordan 1 High Deep Royal Blue, or the Rare Air colorway. So these are now going to be dropping April the 5th, and obviously this is part of the, I guess it's a pack, but they're dropping a bunch of different Rare Air Jordans this year. We got the 4s. I think there's a pair of 3s. Could be wrong about that, but then there's two colorways of the Jordan 1. There's this one, and then there's the Cinnabar colorway. I don't think these are going to be insanely hyped up, especially not compared to the Jordan 4s. I think a lot of people are excited for those. However, this is a very nice colorway. Like, look at them on foot. It looks pretty dope. From afar away, kind of looks like some Travis Scott or Fragment collab. Maybe even Union, the way that like top half is cut off. You got a sailed out midsole. You've got nice colors of blue. You've got some slight red accents like around the Nike swoosh and then the tongue tag. Oh yeah, and then also this Nike swoosh actually wears away, which you can see over here. here just faintly, like that could be scratched off to reveal a red Nike swoosh, which personally I don't think would be my thing, but it's a cool little detail. And then, like I said, there's another Rare Air pair, which is this Cinnabar colorway. I don't know if this is going to be a woman's exclusive. I don't think they've actually specified that. Oh yeah, maybe they have. I was wrong. Sorry, it says woman. So they've got the men's pair, they've got the women's pair. This one is also dropping April the 5th, so they're kind of dropping together as a pack. Like, obviously we're looking at the preschool size, so it's like shrunken down. The stitching looks super obvious. But here's some shots of it on foot. Very, very nice. I like these things a lot. I think the colors are very, very aesthetically pleasing. Materials look pretty solid as well, but yeah, if you had to ask me, I'm taking the men's version any day. Also dropping on April 5th, this one's pretty dope. Yuto Horigome's second Nike SB Dunk Low. This is the asparagus colorway. I feel like we've had in-hand images and like videos of this pair of shoes for a very long time now. They're dropping April 5th, and this is what they look like. Like, I know the first ones were like universally loved, and I think that does have a lot to do with the colorway. Like, that one was just so wearable, so good looking. This one a little bit more towards like the fringe edge. Like, you know, it is an asparagus cut, like an asparagus green is a little bit tougher, but nevertheless, like, for a green pair of shoes, they did it very nice. Like, they mixed it in with a lot of earth tones and made it look super wearable. You got the Yuto Horigome logo on the back. You've got like all of these little dots for an asparagus. Similar lace swap options, with like this one being the slightly off-white color, and then you've got the pink ones just like the originals. All over, this is a solid pair, and if you missed out on the first ones, I don't think this is a bad pickup by any means. We just got our best looks yet at the upcoming Air Max Day special. That's right, guys, they're bringing back the neon 95s, except this time they're doing the big bubble thing that they did on the Air Max 1s. So this is the tee shot that they did on the Nike Sneakers app ages ago, but this is actually them in hand. It's actually a little bit harder to tell that this is a bigger bubble. Like, side by side you can tell, but just like straight up like this, it might be something that you miss because it's only just slightly enlarged. It's not like the original Air Max 1 where they really enlarged that. But essentially this is to be a lot more accurate to the original 95s. Obviously this neon colorway, having this is kind of perfect. Original colorway with the original shape and details. Now this is for the Air Max 95's 30th anniversary, so it is going to be a pretty special release. I think a lot of people are going to be out there for this pair of shoes. Now we have spoke about previously that they should be doing some kind of almost region locked event where they're doing it, I think, in Paris, London, and maybe New York. So I don't know if they're going to be exclusive to just those regions, or if it's going to be some kind of sneakers app thing where you have to be in a location in order to purchase the shoes. Let me know what you think about these down in the comment section. And again, they should be dropping on March the 26th, which again is Air Max Day. I really need to know from you guys, do you think Ma Maniere and Jordan Brand and Nike are doing too many collaborations? This is one that I actually completely forgot about, but they're also doing another Jordan 5. I remember we spoke about it maybe last year or something, but this is the Burgundy Crush colorway, and we have our first image of it, and that is this one over here. So we got the 23 on the back. The color scheme is pretty much exactly what you would expect. So you got the burgundy and you've got the all over white. Now you can see the little quilting on the inner sock liner, the raw edges. So it is kind of like, again, what we would expect. Very, very similar to what this speculative mock-up is showing, except it obviously doesn't have the aggressive aging that this one has. So this is following last year's, you know, they did two different Jordan 5s. They did the black ones, and then they did the blue ones, or the white blue ones. And now they're doing this one, and then also this year we know that we're getting 4s, we're getting 6s. It just seems a little bit crazy at this point. So I don't know, I feel like I would need some better shots, maybe some on-foot shots to really get me excited about this pair of shoes. But as of right now, it just seems like, you know, this is kind of something that we would expect. I'm keen to see something different if they are going to keep pushing out a bunch of different silhouettes. But I'd love to know from you guys, what do you think? Is Ma Maniere doing too much, or is this shoe just so good, this collaboration so good, that they should just keep running through until they complete the entire catalog? Right, this one I had to show you guys. This is actually pretty dope. So these are the best images we have ever seen of the upcoming Off-White Air Jordan 4 Bread. And I lied, they're not upcoming. This is just one of those mythical pairs I don't know if we'll ever see. We probably won't, let's be honest. I think, yeah, the original rumors were like ages ago. I don't know, they are rejuvenating the whole Off-White thing. They're doing a pair of ones later on this year. So maybe if they do, I would love to see a release of these things. Look how dope they are. So this is actually some shots of someone who's selling them for 60K, you know, pretty normal. But these images show the details in so much light. You can see that they hid the little off-white text. That's a really cool detail that's just underneath the netting. You've got a raw edge and exposed ankle area and tongue. It looks like you've got pretty nice suede for the entire upper, and then you've got like that signature I don't know what you would call this, like this plastic, is it like nylon ripstop material that's around the toe box? They went completely clear with the back tab. It almost looks like it might glow in the dark or something. Same thing with like all of the plastic elements, it's just transparent. It also makes me think like these would probably age pretty nicely. Like when this plastic kind of oxidizes, goes all like orange, that would fit with this colorway really nicely because they also like sailed out the midsole as well. Either way, as of right now, this is just some looks to be like, damn, what could have been, huh? Like, man, Virgil really did say that these were going to drop. Like when they were dropping the women's pair, the sail colorway, they were like, yep, men's pair coming soon. And then just all of the leaks, like these were so close to a release, we almost freaking had them. As of right now, there is no plans for these things to drop. But if we get any updates, I'll let you know. We also just got our first looks, or like a slight little leak, of the upcoming Nike Vomero 18 Premium, which is looking extra wild. So it looks like they're doing a similar thing to the Pegasus Premium, where like on the Max model, they're putting air units in. I'm not entirely sure if this is air zoom units or just air units, but it's definitely got air in it to some degree, because you can see they've got like huge air text on the side profile of the shoe. It's going to be an extremely, like the most max cushion shoe that Nike has ever made. Currently, it's the current Vomeros. Those are the biggest, you know, cushioning stack that Nike has. So this premium version is going to increase that even more somehow. Right, follow up from Wednesday's story about the Awake New York Jordan 5. Man, I don't know if I've ever wanted a pink shoe more. These things are gaining a lot of interest. A lot of people seem to be super excited about it. I feel like it's the first time, or at least the boldest thing that we've seen done to a Jordan 5's netting. Like, this is a significant change. Having that A in there really does make this shoe stand out completely. And that's on both pairs. I like how they did that, and they didn't try and, like, you know, just have it mismatched or something. It's kind of done perfectly. You do have the NY on one, I think the right foot, and then 23 on the left. So the little update is that they've now got them on show in their store. So this is in Awake New York store. They've got them hanging from the ceiling, like they did have quite a few different collaborations. I remember they did that with the airship. So basically just means that this launch, this whole, like, you know, rollout of the release is kind of underway. It's happening pretty soon, and I would imagine these actually get a release within the next few weeks to next couple months. But again, a reminder, this is one of two colorways that are supposed to be dropping. This is the pink one. There's also a racer blue colorway, which I think should be predominantly black, but I imagine after seeing this, it's going to have very similar details in terms of like the A there, the 23 flip. So it's very interesting to see that second colorway. Maybe I'll like it a little bit more, but this is based off the fire red, so I feel like that's a little bit cooler. Either way, as soon as we get any more updates, I'll let you guys know. Also just got first looks at the upcoming Air Jordan 4 denim that's going to be dropping this year. So these should be dropping August the 9th. They did a great job mocking these things up. You've got the two-tone denim look with the white midsole, I assume a gum outsole. You've got like the lighter denim on top. You've got the darker denim down here, which is exactly, like literally it is one for one this. I don't think there's any changes. You've even got the little gold lace debray thing. Imagine wearing these with like denim jeans and then a denim jacket as well. Just going full denim. Somebody's definitely going to do that. Nike is going to be dropping a carbon fiber pair of Nike foam posits, which I actually think fits this pair of shoes perfectly. So it's basically inspired off of the carbon fiber shank that runs through the midsole, but the only issue with this now is that it might have a different appearance to, like, you can see the actual carbon fiber here and then just the carbon fiber print that's on the upper, and they look very different. Either way, we don't have very many details on this pair of shoes, just the fact that it should be carbon fiber potentially, and they're going to be dropping holiday 2025. Let me know if you'd like to see this. Very exciting stuff from New Balance. So they're going to be debuting their new model very, very soon. This is the New Balance 2010, and we've got a Rich Paul collaboration. So I'm not entirely sure if this is going to be like the first pair that drops a collab with Rich Paul, but I know that this model we've seen in a couple different colorways. This is a pretty cool one. Like, I do actually like the, I don't know, it's almost like the Ma Maniere pink, like where it's almost beige. It's not super in your face, very earth tony, very wearable. These are the only two shots. You can see like it's got the little gel pockets back here, or I don't know, what is New Balance call it? Can't be gel because that's Asics. I'm not entirely sure, but I do like the look of this model aesthetically. I think it looks very, very nice. I wish we had a retail price, but at the moment we do not. And we also don't have a release date for this either, so just dropping pretty soon, next couple months, but I'm excited for this new silhouette. Sticking with New Balance, we just got looks at a new colorway of the upcoming Absorb 2000 model. So this is that crazy one that we saw like the blue colorway in, which by the way I much prefer, but this is the Dragonberry color. Very, very pink. Obviously a lot of black black accents as well, with this wild, you know, accordion-ass midsole going on. I actually cannot wait for this model. Like, look how sick it looks. Super, you know, retro futuristic, and I think in the right colorway, this is going to be a must-have. Unfortunately, still no release date on this. I think it's still spring, summer 2025, so very, very soon, and I imagine the blue colorway is going to be the first one that drops. Stussy and Nike are going to be teaming up to drop the Nike Baltoro boot. So we've got no images of what this will look like or should look like, but these are the original colorways that dropped. I think this was like back in the 90s, so it's got very 90s color themes going on here. And I think the first tease that this shoe was going to be reintroduced is when they dropped it on Fortnite. So they've been dropping a bunch of different shoes, but they actually dropped these, the Baltoros. So if they're dropping them here, and now we've got news of a Stussy collaboration, it seems very fitting. As soon as we get a release date or even just slight leaked images of this, I will let you guys know. But these type of collaborations do just seem to kind of drop out of nowhere, so I would expect within the next few weeks. Remember a while back we talked about a bunch of different resale stores or even just retailers struggling in the climate of that sneakers in general. And remember we spoke about sneakers and stuff filing for bankruptcy. Well, they've just been saved. That's right, SNS has been saved by who was it? It was some company. It was acquired by Reciproc Ventures. It's an investment firm, and they're looking to basically revamp their digital experience as well as reopening the Stockholm store and the NYC location. I'm happy about that. I always kind of liked SNS, and it's been a bit rough not entering their raffles recently, you know, not just having that extra chance. I've won a couple on there, and I'm sure they're going to be doing bigger and better things. It's cool to see. The sneaker game is healing. Either way, that wraps it up for this week's Sneaky Sunday. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We do this every single week, and of course, if you want to catch another video, there's one chilling right over there.